So today we kind of scratch our heads a little bit because now we're in first book of Maccabees, and we're like, well, didn't we do second book of Maccabees the last 2 days? Yes, we did. And like I said, Maccabees 1 and 2 aren't chronological, like First and Second Samuel are, or First and Second Kings are, not necessarily chronological. So the stories that we heard the last 2 days in Second Maccabees are kind of like the prelude to the beginning of First Maccabees. Remember, these were two martyrdom events, two events where in one case an elderly, respected man, and in yesterday's gospel, a mother and her 7 sons were put to death for not eating pork. And like I said yesterday, eating pork is not the issue. There's something much deeper going on. And now, as we begin chapter 2 of First Maccabees, we start to see what's at play here. Okay, so you have this man by the name of Matthias, and he's going to have 5 sons. And one of those sons is going to be named Maccabeus, Judas Maccabeus, okay, from which we get the name Maccabees from. Okay, actually that son is going to be really the main character in this book. But the revolt, maybe the start of it though, begins with his father Matthias, okay, or Matthias, whatever it is, okay? All these dumb Greek names. Not dumb, okay? I gotta remember I'm recording myself here. But complicated Greek names to pronounce, maybe put it that way, okay? So, like the 2 stories on Tuesday and Wednesday, do you remember in the martyrdom where they were offered a chance to get out of it, right? So remember the first day, they kind of went up to him and said, hey, look, we won't actually give you pork, but if you just kind of pretend that you're doing it so that the others see it, but you're not really doing it. And he was like, no. I don't want to mislead the people, and yesterday, like the attendants, the executioners went up to the mom and it's like, hey, can you talk your sons out of this? Can you know what I mean? Like we're giving you an opportunity. And she's like, no, And then today we see the same thing where one of the officers of the king goes to this Matthias guy and is like, look, you're respected, that type of thing. Just give in and, comply and everything will be okay. And again, we get the same response. Although the Gentiles in the king's realm obey him, and so that each forsake the religion of his fathers. So while the other Gentiles that you conquered are given in, and essentially, many did, because it was just like, okay, well, we believe in all these gods. They believe in all these gods. Well, we'll just believe in their gods. What's the big deal? But that's not the Jewish faith. And in fact, he says, yet I and my sons and my king will keep to the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we shall forsake the law and the commandments. The covenant. And I wonder, and I could be wrong on this, I just kind of wondered this morning in prayer, that the covenant that God establishes with them is what differentiates them from all those other pagan religions. Like those gods didn't enter into covenants with them. But the God of Israel did. And that's what makes him and this faith different than all the other regions. This isn't just, okay, well, you have these beliefs, just give them up and believe over here. No. This is a covenant has been established. And again, like I said, the forbidden of eating pork, it's not so much that, but it's a sign of the covenant. That's why it's not just about not eating pork. And then finally at the end, it also struck me, as Matthias kills this Jew who offers, the pagan sacrifice, which I don't advise any of you doing any such thing like that, okay? All right? Scripture doesn't really approve or condemn it. It just says this is what happens. Okay, so remember that fact there. All right, and also the cross is kind of going to put an end to all that type of behavior. How does the king that we're going to celebrate on Sunday, how does the king reign? Not through violence, but by the sacrificial love of himself. That's the way. That's how we fight our battles now, with love and sacrifice. Okay? But in the end, what do they do? Matthias and all these faithful Jews, where do they go? And this is what struck me as well, and I end with this. They go to the mountains, and they go to the desert. Okay? Hopefully you who are familiar with me and all my preachings, bells should start be ringing. Mountain. Okay? Jesus goes to the mountain. Jesus sits down on the mountain. The mountain was a place where you go to encounter God. The desert, the wilderness. Remember in the Old Testament, even Jesus went into the wilderness. It's a place of formation and preparation and prayer. So as the covenant is being threatened, where do they go? They go to encounter God. They go to be formed by God, included even, as it says, leaving all their possessions behind. They don't need it. They need the covenant. They need God. And so do we. May God bless you.